Let's be real, every single programmer at some point has to wrestle with messy text data. It's just a universal headache, right? Well, in the next few minutes, we're going to build a simple but really powerful framework to tame that chaos for good. So, does this look familiar to you? You're scraping a website, you're trying to process user signups, maybe you're just importing a file, and the text is just all over the place. You've got inconsistent capitalization, extra spaces, just weird formatting. It can honestly feel like pure chaos. But don't worry, there is absolutely a method to this madness. We're going to use a framework I like to call the 4 pillars of string manipulation. It's case, search, modify, and split/join. If you can master these 4 ideas, you can bring order to pretty much any text chaos you'll ever encounter. Okay, so here's our roadmap for this. We're going to tackle the problem head on, then we'll break down each of our 4 pillars one by one, and then we'll wrap it all up with an essential toolkit you can take with you. First up, let's talk about Pillar 1, normalizing case. Honestly, this is your foundational step. This is where you start to create some real consistency in your data. What's so great about this slide is it shows you how strategic these different case methods can be. You get some raw input like hello world, and your first move is to use .lower to standardize it. And why does that matter so much? Well, because in a database, a user with a capital U and user with a lowercase u are 2 completely different things. Normalizing your case prevents duplicate records, and it makes sure your searches actually work. On the other hand, you can use .upper to make a warning message really stand out, or something like .title to format a name for a nice, clean user interface. See? Every method has its purpose. So, if you remember one thing from this section, make it this. Always, always standardize your input before you do anything else with it. It is the single most effective thing you can do to prevent a whole world of headaches down the line. Trust me on that one. Okay, that leads us right into Pillar 2. Now that our data is nice and consistent, we need to actually find things inside it. This is all about searching and validating. This image does a great job of showing 2 tools that seem similar but are actually very different. Up top, we're using .find on the word apple. It's basically asking, hey, where's the first P? And it gets back the answer 1 because, in programming we start counting from 0. But below that, .starts with on banana is asking a totally different question. It's asking, does this string begin with a B? And the answer isn't a location, it's just a simple, straightforward true. And that right there, that's the key difference. You use .find when you need to know the location of something. And if it's not there, you'll just get back a -1. You use .starts with when all you need is a simple yes or no answer to check if your string is formatted the way you expect. All right, we're making good progress. On to Pillar 3, modifying and cleaning. This is where we get to roll up our sleeves and really start transforming our messy strings into clean ones. Now, here we have 2 real workhorse methods. At the top, .strip is an absolute lifesaver. It's for getting rid of that accidental white space or padding that users always seem to add before or after their input. Then below that, we've got .replace, which is just incredibly powerful. It lets you find every single instance of one thing, like the letter C, and just swap it out for something else, like the letter B. Okay, this next idea is a huge aha moment. It's also a classic stumbling block for so many people. In a language like Python, strings are immutable. Now that's a fancy word, but all it means is they cannot be changed. So when you use a method like .strip or .replace, you're not actually changing the original string. What you're really doing is creating a brand new one with the changes. And this is the key. Since the original never changes, you have to assign that result to a new variable to actually capture the modification. If you don't, your changes just vanish. And that brings us to our final and maybe most powerful pillar. Pillar 4, restructuring with split and join. This is where we go beyond just cleaning text and start to fundamentally change its data structure. I love this slide because it shows the beautiful symmetry between splitting and joining. Up top, you see the .split comma method. It takes a single string, breaks it apart at every single comma, and creates a nice clean list of individual items. Then, the reverse process at the bottom uses .joining to take that list of items and build them back together into a single cohesive string, using, in this case, a comma as the glue. So, when do you use these? Well, .split is your go-to tool for parsing any kind of structured data. Think taking a row from a CSV file and turning it into a list you can work with.
And dot join is perfect for when you've got a list of words or phrases and you need to construct a clean, readable sentence out of them.
So that covers our 4 pillars. Now, let's bring it all together into an essential toolkit that you can reference anytime you need it. And this right here, this is your takeaway. It's a handy little cheat sheet that summarizes our 4 pillars. You've got your case methods like .upper and .lower, your search methods like .find and .starts with, the modify methods like .replace and .strip, and of course, the restructuring power of .split and .join. This is your complete quick reference guide. So there you have it. You now have the fundamental framework for taming any messy text that comes your way. You've got the pillars, you've got the tools. The only question left is, what are you going to build or what are you going to clean first?